Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of bliss. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, Yoga of Divine Glories. And verse number is 38. Just to remind you that a profound insight is being given how to live your life with a mind that is God-ward. But God-ward mind has many extensions. First stage, objects of the world are interesting to the mind. Anything remarkable you see, your mind gets especially entertained or inspired. But that inspiration leads you to Vishayaras, to sense of pleasure. But Vibhuti Yoga is turning sense pleasure into a process of devotion to God. So anything that is remarkable, when you look at a child, looks so cute, that the moment there is cute, shoot your eye to God. Anything that seems so remarkable, your lightning flashes, such a remarkable thing. Turn your mind to God. You are seeing a glimpse of a flash of God's grace. Glory of God is manifesting in the world. Every little thing, whichever attracts your mind. So first your focus is on things that are impressive in literature, in poetry, in the world around you, the relations, whatever is very interesting. See God's glory behind it. Dando damayatam nitirasmi jigishatam maunam chaivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatamaham. Among chastisers, I am the rod of chastisement, danda. Everyone experiences states of regret and a feeling of being punished for your errors. And nobody is exempt from it. But whenever that situation comes, that goes against your cherished wish, and you can't do anything about it, instead of being frustrated, view this an act of God's glory. It's giving you an opportunity to look into your defects. Also understand your goal in life. In other words, to put it in a very condensed way, live your life with danda in your hand. Danda literally is called a stick. And there are sannyasis who hold danda, there are dandi sannyasi. But danda level is ritual level. Real practice of danda, bring da in the anda. Anda is your own personality. Anda is egg. Egg has to be nourished before the bird hatches. You are bird, soul, and collect the nourishment of da, dhamma, control of mind and senses. Dana, acts of charity. Daya, acts of compassion. These three integrate your whole personality. Your higher self, your divine within you is promoted by da. The human in you is promoted by dana. The first one dhamma, next one dana. Charitable. How charitable? Charitable doesn't always mean that you have to have money to give in charity. You have lots of things. How your attitudes towards others are. Whether in your dealings you are narrow-minded, you cannot bear with any other person's mistakes. Your mistakes were very generous. It's okay not to bear with others' mistakes as long as you have an intention to help them to overcome their mistakes. But if your intention is only to make them look more fool and miserable, then that's the wrong way to go. So, all that is implied by holding danda. And in all negative situations, instead of allowing your mind to be stressed that so many negative karmas you have done that cause all these troubled situations. So instead of beating your mind with distress, understand each is a divine opportunity. You have learned through facing challenges in life from very childhood. As you started growing, every step there is error and correcting the error. And so you go on learning. So every situation is an opportunity for gaining spiritual insight. And basically, if nothing can be understood, one thing that it is allowing a negative karma in you to be worked out, sublimated, or at least give its reaction to pave the way for your personality to flow on in a positive way. So, nil desperandum, do not despair, but repair your despair with the spirit of danda. Niti rasmi jigishatam. I am statesmanship. That's the translation is literal. Niti refers to righteous conduct. Among, I am statesmanship, righteous conduct. Very in an ordinary way, Rajaniti. Raja is one who rules. If you want to rule over your personality and allow your soul to discover its immense power, then follow the path of righteous conduct, good manners. Be really royal in your heart, not develop an external show of royalty. Be really royal, implying follow the path of dharma. we use various words. If you have good conduct, you are following suniti. If you have negative conduct, you are following kuniti. And simple word niti refers to righteous conduct. The conduct that will lead you to attain enlightenment, following the path of dharma. So those who want real victory in the world, yato dharma sato jaya, they must follow the path of suniti, the third type of conduct that paves the way to chitta shuddhi, purity of the heart. I am the silence among secrets, knowledge among the wise. Secret term has a broad implication. What is secret of facing so many people in different levels without being shaken up, without being disturbed? The secret is silence. People are saying so many things. Silence implies allow your mind not to be agitated. Do not spring out from your mind all types of irritative thoughts. Keep the mind quiet. Even for that silence, you need devotion to God, surrender to God. Understand all people, all souls are essentially rays of God. And more essentially, they are one with God. All reflected suns are nothing but the sun. And that's the secret of secrets. And you should know it. If you know that secret, then don't get agitated. All things are in divine hands. That doesn't mean that you don't do your duty. In every situation, calmer the mind, greater is your ability to figure out how to handle a situation. And that's the secret of success. And at deepest level, as you practice concentration, meditation, calmer your mind, more you enter into still waters of silence. Greater is your internal progress. And even if you are not meditating, that art of silence must stay in your personality, expressing through your patience, endurance, loving manners. And knowledge among the wise. And to be wise is a progressive movement. Later in the Gita, you have Gyan Lakshanas. How do you know that a person is following the path of wisdom? Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, shantirarjavam, and various other amanitvam. Such a person does not seek his own praise. He is not going after his popularity, but after his humanity, after his spirituality. So when you are praised, instead of being vain and full of pride, you develop more humility. More praise, your praise goes to God. So therefore, you remain completely humble. and humble humility expresses more and more, then that's jnana lakshana. You are really a jnana. Adambhitvam, no hypocrisy. Ahimsa, no violence towards anyone. Kshanti, not to hold on to grudge against others, but forgive, forget, forbear. So all this is vibhuti of God. And when the world abounds with God's glories, then the great ideal that we should remember God all the time, that becomes very easy, because the world is constantly reminding you. It tune up your mind with the world in such a way, the world becomes a constant giver of profound lesson to you. The world becomes the divine mother. In fact, God is the glory of God. The world is nothing but God expressing in the form of the word process. Yacchapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjunam natadasti vinayat yatmaya bhutam characharam. O Arjuna, I am also the seed of all beings. There is nothing among the moving or the unmoving that can exist without me. Turn your attention even to the glory, the mystery of a seed in a tree. Think of a banyan tree. How big it is, how long it can exist. And how does it come from? From a very little seed. What is the potentiality of that seed? One little seed can become the basis of a whole forest. Because one seed brought out a tree. The tree brought out millions of seeds. Each millions of seeds grows into a big tree, which brings about millions of seeds. So, how much can come out of a seed? Can't imagine. The entire world process, all the three lokas, they have come out of the seed of Brahman, the absolute self. Look at a wave, it is so fragile and transient, but it is nothing but the ocean. Look at the sun shining in a dewdrop. Dewdrop is transient along with the reflection, but the sun is ever the same. Every wave sings the glory of the ocean. Every dewdrop reminds you of the sun. Look at your ego personality, and you are nothing. But look at the light that is reflecting in your mind, causing the individual soul to appear. It is Brahman, the absolute. Nantosmi mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa esha tu deshataha prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. Lord Krishna is imparting this wisdom to Arjuna, addressing him as, O destroyer of foes, highlighting the idea that Arjuna is an ideal aspirant. And who is an aspirant? Who is not defeated by the foes. Foes are kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada. All these impurities of the mind, perverted desire, anger, hate, conceit. And when these negative qualities are being sublimated by an aspirant and developing characteristics of wisdom, then you are described as destroyer of foes. Addressing Arjuna by that address, Krishna, the teaching is directed to every soul. There is no end to my divine glories. So, you have started with turning Vishaya Ras into divine Ras, Divya Ras, by developing this art of seeing God's hand behind all things, God's glory behind negative happening, positive happening, behind the qualities of people. But that's the beginning stage. Advanced stage, even things that are not so attractive, rather distractive and destructive, things that are very negative. A person who is howling like jackal, losing his balance. Even in that, your heart goes out. The person is your own son. The person is your own dear relative. And what can we do to help that predicament of a person? So it is awakening compassion in your heart, not just gross hatred. So much so, Siya Ram Mai Sab Jag Jani. The entire world is nothing but Sita and Ram. That's the advanced state. When you have that experience, you don't have to do any sadhana anymore. Vibhuti practice leads you to have the climax of Vibhuti practice is Vishwarupa Darshan. The entire world is one Brahman, the absolute. And all that you see, etc., they are different aspects of the Virat form of God, cosmic form of God. So not only inspiring you in ordinary way, but in every little object of the world, in all names and forms, you see God as the reality. रोम रोम में राम रमा है, कण कण में घनश्याम छिपा है. In every particle there is Lord Krishna. In every pore of your body there is Rama. And you are not confined to your body, you are cosmic. And this culminates in Jnana Drishti. So Vibhuti, Vishwarupa Darshan, Jnana Drishti, these are 3 steps. Allowing your mind to be profoundly positive, day by day receiving the nectarine shower of positivity by seeing the glory of God and awakening love of God. And then experiencing divine expansion. God is all. God is not here, not there, but God is everywhere. He has cosmic body. All the heads are His. All the hands are His. All the teeth are His. All past, present, and future, all are contained in His cosmic being. And the Divya Darshan promotes intuitive vision. Who am I? Your I am is Brahman, that expresses in the form of cosmic form of the universe, that expresses in the form of things that are so impressive to human mind. Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam shrimadurjitame vacha mevava tatteva vagachatvam mamate jonsha sambhavam. 41 verse. Whatever being is endowed with vibhuti or glory, with prosperity or inner wealth, jnana, vairagya, know all this to have manifested from a fragment of my shining glory. The divine glory is the seed behind all things. So, whatever glory that you see in any person, and whatever type of prosperity you see in successful and joyous personalities, and great Mahatmas whose heart brings out outpourings of love for all, jnana, vairagya, know all this to have manifested from a fragment of my shining glory. Athva bahunaitena kyam jnatena tavarjuna vishtamyahamidam krishnam ekashena sthito jagat. O Arjuna, what is the purpose of this detailed knowledge of my glory? It is sufficient to know that I sustain and permeate this entire universe with a single ray of my boundless glory. All follow the ordinary simile that always I give. All souls are reflected suns. All jivas are different forms of reflections. Every reflected sun is essentially the absolute self, the sun. And that's your jnana drishti. That's what the purpose of your life is, to realize aham brahmasmi. So, but if you confine yourself only to counting the glories of the God, Lord Krishna says, what the use? The glories of God are endless. It is sufficient to know that I sustain and permeate the entire universe. The entire universe permeated by just a ray. The sun does not use all its solar energy to illumine the earth. Only a ray from the sun illumines the earth planet. I'm not using real astronomy. But even from that point of view, it's a good simile. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vibhuti Yogena Dashamodhyaya. Thus, in the Upanishad of the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Supreme Brahman, the scripture of yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, ends the 10th chapter, entitled The Yoga of Divine Glories. And we will be entering into Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. This is called Divya Drishti. Divya Drishti is that type of psychic vision that allows your intellect to be inspired by the entire universe being nothing but God Himself. But this is a step towards enlightenment. Divya Drishti comes in a state of ecstasy. If you have developed a lot of sattva, for a while your mind begins to enjoy a special thrill. But when the sattva goes away, what happens to you? But you have Jnana Drishti, you are not dependent upon a thrilling experience. No matter whatever is your experience, you are like the sky. No matter whatever the sky experiences in the term of clouds and many details, storms, etc., the sky remains ever untouched. It is that revelation that I am Satchit Ananda. I am absolute existence. Countless changes go on in the world, but changes go on in the realm of Maya, illusion. Countless changes go on in your dream. Gain and loss, birth and death. The world process is a long dream. But revelation, Jnana Drishti, I am Sat. I am absolute existence. It should sink in your heart, this revelation, deeper and deeper. So do not let your mind be dominated by mortality virus. You must realize you live in a world where this COVID virus is not the only one. Countless viruses have come and gone. And even when nothing is going on in the world, seems very calm and relaxed, the mortality virus is constantly dominating the mind of people. This to be neutralized by abhaya, the fearlessness that you discover by the deep understanding that I am is not the ego. I am Brahman. And from this stage, come to next stage. You are pure awareness. What is Sat is same as absolute awareness. Where will you go to find your awareness? You don't have to look for it. You are always aware. Aware of most miserable predicament. Aware of very happy situation. Aware of a future that's going to be wonderful. Aware of so many things. Every moment you are aware. But all this awareness is like reflections in a lake, a boundless lake of pure awareness. So, be aware of absolute awareness. That's called Chit. I am. pure consciousness. And coming to the highest level, and therefore absolute joy, ananda, because the I am in you has no problems. The reflected sun goes through countless turmoils. Every day brings new stories. If reflected suns were to write their biography, it would be more than countless oceans. But each reflected sun finds absolute fulfillment in discovering I am the sun. Now the sense of fulfillment is joyousness. Supreme bliss lies in realizing who am I, because your I am is the source of your love, and love is the basis of your happiness. What do you love most? Love your own essential nature. Even in the practical world, even though you don't know who you are, still instinctively you love yourself. And when you have discovered the source of that love is absolute, pure consciousness, that which is absolute existence. The same is absolute awareness. The same is absolute bliss. I am Satchidananda. And that's the Jnana Drishti. Just I will recite the first verse of the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaya Paramam Guhyam Adhyatma Sangitam Yatyoktam Vachanastvena Mohoyam Vigato Mama. Arjuna said, O Krishna, the supreme secret concerning the self, which you have graciously revealed to me, has dispelled my delusion. And so he is seeking cosmic vision, God in the form of the entire universe. That vision based on intuitive, samadhi-based Divya Darshan is an ecstasy, vision of ecstasy, which will pave the way to Jnana Drishti. In Jnana Drishti, nothing miraculous goes on in your experience. Everything is as normal. But in your heart, you become like the ocean. All experiences come, pleasure and pain. But deep in your heart, there is I am, Brahman. So all experiences flow like rivers. And they do not agitate you, no matter which way the experiences are. And with this, I'm concluding for today. Om Ram 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 Ram. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras grace of God over all of you, with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukumbha Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu माँ कश्चित् दुख भाग भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम।